Knucklehead and the products. Making the deals is top dollars. Popping our collars, making these haters wanna holler. Shit, they telling me that crime don't pay.
You can think.
I don't know if it was my best fight, but it's definitely a fight that sticks out in my head. I was 11-0, and I was fighting in Wisconsin, and Joe Bodler was my corner man, and Josh Schmidt was my other cornerman. Called him Tooth, and I was fighting a really good wrestler, and this wrestler was he had won the first round, and that was the second night. It was the second time I fought that night, and it was if you win the tournament, you get a chance to go in the UFC. But I came back and I think I won that. I think I won that fight by. I think I won that fight by TKO, but by strikes. I think by strikes or submission. I can't remember, but I remember all I remember is my cornerman. I was more scared of my cornerman than I was the fighter, because Joe Bodler, he's like the grandfather of our gym. He reached over the cage and yelled at me and pointed his finger at me. It was the most intimidating look ever. And yelled, he's like, "You're gonna go out there and you're gonna do that," and he scared me. And I remember looking at him like so scared. And but I turned around, I went up back out there, and I won the fight. I can't remember how I won it, but I won it, and I remember that fight being the best feeling ever, because I have Joe kicking my butt after the fight. So there's been lots of memories. I've had lots of memories in fighting. So the worst fight I've ever had was getting knocked out by Anthony Johnson in 14 seconds or 13 seconds in the UFC. But And that all comes down to bad management. I mean, I'm just being blunt. If you know me, that's one thing you're gonna know about me, is I'm a pretty blunt person. My fighter I was supposed to fight for my second fight in the UFC was a guy from American Top Team, Steve Bruno. He's a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu, and I found out the day before at the signing of the papers. You're fighting Anthony Johnson. Who's Anthony Johnson? You know, I don't know who this guy is. So I just signed the paper because I had to. Because if I didn't sign it, the UFC was gonna cut me. So I signed the paper, took a chance, made a mistake. Should have tried to take him down. Anthony Johnson's a stud. He's gonna be fighting John Jones for the light heavyweight belt. So. Yeah, I got caught, so it happens, and it's to get back, bounce back up, and keep going. I think I won a 4-fight win streak after that fight, and I lost, and then I started hanging around with the wrong people. Got my mind cleared now. Not living in the bars anymore, chasing women around. I got a wife now. And now just eat, sleep, train. That's all I do. So, and
no, you're a good guy. Yeah.
now I'm a good guy. You can call me that. Yeah. FightLab's been great to me. I was just uppercutted. We call it, that's the term I use. You get uppercut. You get surprised. I came here to Phuket. I went over there, told them my story. I said, "Hey, I'm coming over here. I'm going to be staying here in Phuket." Told them a little about myself, and they were just, Owen just opened his arms up to me and gave me a hug and gave me all sorts of gear, and I was like, and it was good quality gear too. Good gloves, good shin guards. Got all sorts of stuff over there, from t-shirts to rash guards to everything. So they got everything over there. So they have to write it down. People know me that I say this a lot. If you write something down, you're 7 times more likely to do it. So I write stuff down. I study the art. If I have a favorite move, I'll write it down. I study. You have to study the game. Look at John Jones. When John Jones walks around, he has a notebook, big big notebook of his favorite combination. Is he gonna memorize all the combinations? No, but he's definitely gonna study. He's gonna study it. He's gonna move. He's gonna study the fluidity of the sport, how to move. So yeah, he's gonna study it. I'm saying if you want to be in if you want to be in MMA, you have to reach out to something where you definitely gotta find a wrestling gym. You definitely get involved with the wrestling gym or kickboxing or Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu. You have to find. And some towns, you know, are limited, especially in the Midwest where I'm from. You might just have a boxing gym, or you might just have a Muay Thai, so you're limited. But there's always ways to find those things. You know, the internet's a great source. You know, so.